Good evening, News 13 First Alert Meteorologist Melissa Thomas here, and I'm going to do something I've been wanting to do for a while now, and I think it will help a lot of people better utilize our StormTrack13 app. I know a lot of people have it, but if you don't know how to set up all the cool aspects of it or realize what all the app is hiding, then that's an amazing app just going to waste on your phone. So this is a tutorial from beginning to end, and I'm going beginning to end for those that may not have our StormTrack13 app. We're going to get it downloaded, and I'm going to show you what all it can do for you. So this is a way to, what would be a good way to put this, to enhance your understanding and utilization of our forecasts that we give you on a daily here at News 13. Meteorologist Lauren Hope and Chief Meteorologist Ross Whitley, combined with the information we provide to you during the weather hits and on our social media posts. Knowing how to use this app will help you be that much better prepared, weather aware, and safe, no matter what it is you're planning, work, activity-wise, holiday-wise, travel-wise. There's just so much that this app can help you with. So let's go ahead and get into it. Try and keep this as short as possible. It's not going to be in a very short video by any means, because I do want to be thorough. And we're going to have to do it this way. So best way I can think to really run through a video tutorial of this sort. And while we're doing it, it'll take a moment sometimes to get into focus. So some parts of the tutorial might be a little blurry. Like right now. I might have to redo this. Let's see. One more. No. Okay. You wanna focus? All right. We focused. So this is going to be the Apple iPhone. It'll be very similar for your Androids. Your Android should have something called a Play Store. On the iPhone, it's the App Store. You go to your App Store, and then it's as simple as typing in StormTrack13 in your search bar. StormTrack13, all together. And then the app will pop up right there. That is what it looks like. We could get into focus. Oh wait, I think my finger helps. Yeah. So there it is, StormTrack13. I already have it downloaded, so it says open. If you don't have it, it'll say download. So let's exit out of here. And don't mind my storm background. Use my finger to get a little focused. I'm thinking that helps. But there is the StormTrack13 app we have downloaded. We'll click on it. This is going to be your main screen. This is what you open up to. You'll have your current conditions. I have Panama City Beach, Florida up. The next one's your alerts. If you click on this, it'll show highlighted sections of the panhandle that may be under a severe thunderstorm watch, severe thunderstorm warning, tornado watch, tornado warning, tropical storm warnings, hurricane warnings and watches. I think let's go ahead and just get into, well, I think I hit the wrong one. Current conditions, alerts. Okay, that is, yeah, Viper alerts. So we've had a few in the past afternoon. Lightning in area 20 minutes ago, 15 miles away. Let me get back in here, help it get it focused up. And this is giving us a history of what it is let us know about today. So today, going down that list, all the way down to 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago, mostly a lightning. We've had some lightning storms across the afternoon today. Let's see, let's go back here. Now that was our alerts. I'm going to stay on alerts for a moment so that we can keep this kind of organized as far as subject goes. So I hit up here the little gear, I clicked that, and down here popped up locations and settings. The really cool thing about this app is that you can set these locations up to be your home. That way, if when you're worried, is that storm going to affect my community? Is that storm going to affect Alford? Is that storm going to affect Carabel? You can set the app to tell you, hey, you have a severe thunderstorm warning entering your area. And it's not even a severe thunderstorm warning. It doesn't even have to be severe. The app tells me storms are moving into Bluntstown. So you go into locations, and as you can see, I stalk all of you. I want to know if you have any type of weather moving into the area. Washington County, Walton County, Holmes, Gulf County, Franklin County, Mariana, and Bluntstown. So here's another highlight about this app that I think is really cool about it. At the top, I have my current location set on. You can have your home set. As you can see right there, I have home and current location. So if you go visit family in Alabama and you have your current location set on, you can get warnings while you're visiting family or friends in another state that there's a storm moving into your current location using the GPS tracker on your phone. So if you're comfortable with allowing the app to know where you're at all times, you will always be warned if there's storms moving near your way. That's, I think, so cool. Home, obviously where you live, and to set up where you want your locations to be. And this also is something to highlight. Maybe you're not traveling, but you want to know if your family in Alabama, or maybe you live in Bay County, you have family in Washington County, you want to know that they're safe in a certain area, and you want notifications. Maybe they don't pay attention to the weather, so you're going to pay attention for them. You could put their location in, and the app will tell you, hey, there's some storms moving into this area that you've set for us to watch, and you can call your brother, your sister, your mom and dad and say, hey, pay attention to the weather. It's getting hairy. So it is as simple as add location. Let it get into focus. Location, name, type all of that in. And then it's going to ask you a list of everything you want to be notified about. Let's get that back into focus. There we go. Dense fog, freezing fog, hard freeze warning, hard freeze watch, excessive heat warning, excessive heat watch, good for the summertime. Heat advisories. Advisories are as simple as it hasn't garnered a watch or a warning, but we're watching it. That's what advisories in a nutshell are. Coastal flood warnings, flood watches, hurricane warning, hurricane watch, hurricane warning, hurricane watch, tropical storm warning watch, tropical storm warning watch, National Weather Service tropical storm watch, National Weather Service freezing spray advisory, heavy freezing spray warning. Some of these don't apply to our area, especially some of the winter advisories. This app works across the nation, so there's going to be a lot of options. You can either click them, you can leave them all clicked for when you're traveling. That's a good thing too. Maybe you're traveling and you want some stuff set up in here. So for our area, we have dangerous storm approaching. I have that one clicked. So dangerous storm means that's the one that just says, hey, we've got some storms moving in the area. Maybe it's not been severe warned yet, but there's some significant storms you want to, be aware of. Maybe you're not a fan of storms and you want to know to go inside, to go ahead and turn your TV up and you just want to, drown that thing out. Not all of us wants to go out and chase it. Lightning in the area, that's an important one for safety reasons, which can go along with dangerous storm approaching. National flash flood warning, severe thunderstorm warning, watch, tornado warning, tornado watch, storms in the area, dangerous storm approaching, you really want to pay attention to. And storms in the area, it may not even be a very dangerous storm. All storms can be dangerous just because of slippery roads, rains, lightning, etc., etc. But you can basically, what this app is allowing you to do is really finitely organize what you want it to tell you. Do you just want to be told if there's a tornado in the area? Do you just want to be told if there's dangerous storms in the area? Do you only want to be told that there is a severe thunderstorm in the area? Or you're like me and you want to know when there's all storms in the area. So I have storms in the area clicked. And then we go down to dense fog, extreme wind warnings, wind advisories. I mean, just so many. These are all your winter ones. They're not really going to be applicable to Florida. So a lot of freeze watches. Well, we have some freeze warnings every now and then. But snow advisory, if that pops up on your phone and I'm not paying attention to my phone, you post that on my page and say, the app is telling us in Florida we have a snow warning. So anyways, you can set your location or a family member or friend's location up to send you notifications on your phone of these alerts. Very cool attribute of this app. I think it's one of the most important things of this app, so that when you see a forecast of, let's say, Chief Meteorologist Ross Whitley the night before says, hey, tomorrow afternoon, we're probably going to have some strong thunderstorms rolling in, you can make sure your sounds are on with this app. And if you have your location put in, you can be doing the dishes, hear your notifications go off, walk over to your phone, and it'll say storms moving into the area. Once it says that, you're like, oh, there is, and maybe we're not on air, or maybe we haven't posted it just yet. You can juke over to our social medias, and we're posting radar scraps and probably talking about what the app's already telling you about. And if not, if it's just storms moving in the area, maybe they're not that severe, they haven't caught our attention, they're not particularly intense or life-threatening storms, but you're getting a notification they're moving into your area and you want to see said storm the app's telling you about, you can click on your radar. So all these little red notification things are all the locations I have set up to watch. And this is the Viper radar. So there it is. Let's get it into focus. That's not the current situation right now because I have future set up. That layer that I just clicked, so on your radar, there's layers in the top right corner. This is important to know too. High resolution radar at the very top shows you what's going on in the panhandle right now. So those are the storms. That's accurate. We got some storms around Mariana. Got some storms over near north of Bluntstown. And you can zoom in, take your fingers like that. Zoom in. There's Bluntstown. There's the storms north of Bluntstown over Sneeds. You can zoom into Mariana, north of Mariana. This app, it's going to be hard to see on the phone, but I am zooming in to Mariana. Okay, it did actually go into focus. I'm still zooming in. I'm zooming into street names right there. You've got some street names. You've got Hancock Whitney Bank in Mariana. It's giving you locations to identify and help locate yourself in regards to any storms around the area and how close you may or may not be to them. So Mariana is south of the storms right now, 7:20 p.m. as of making this video. If I hit play, it gives me about the past hour of activity. So how has this storm moved? How is it formed? What direction is it moving? Where am I at in regards to the direction of travel of this storm? That will really help you answer if you have the question, well, is this storm going to hit my street, my home? You can look at that and get a good idea of how it's traveling and if it may or may not travel to your home. And then as far as if it's too far away, if it's going to maintain strength before it gets to your home, that's definitely something we monitor and we watch, and we can better tell you the dynamics of the storm and if it'll maintain strength on its way to your home or if it's going to die before it gets to your home, all of those good questions. But for the most part, if a storm is life-threatening and dangerous, the communities in the path that need to be aware of it, we're posting about that. We're communicating that to the communities in the path. If you're not in the path of that warning, of that post, of that storm, then the likelihood of you needing to be worried is very, very low. So every community in the path of a dangerous weather event, we're trying to communicate to that community. You are in the path of this event. So if we're not listing your name, we're not listing your community, then you're probably fine, but you can always double check by using this radar and say, hey, they haven't mentioned my community, but what about me? Well, here I am located to the storm, and here I am. So maybe I'm a little far off for them to be talking about my location just yet. So I'm going to pay attention in the coming hours, keep watching the radar, keep listening to their social media posts, their weather hits, live on air, and stay weather aware so that if it does move into my area, I hear them letting me know. Or my app goes off and says, hey, severe thunderstorm warning, entering Alford, or entering whatever location you have set up in your app. Super cool stuff here. Hope I'm still recording. Okay, cool. All right, that was the active radar. And know that in your active radar, you have these little tabs, data, overlays, settings. In overlays, you can put down your National Weather Service alerts. You can put down lightning in it. You can even do tropical forecast and models. And that, the National Weather Service alerts usually is a shading. It's almost like the polygons and boxes that you see on our screen. There's an active alert out there. You will see those shadings pop up and you can see your location if you're in that shading or not. Do you need to be worried about this active warning? I'm bringing up settings real quick because we want to look at your opacity. So you can have a standard map, you can have satellite, or you can even have a hybrid. And then your opacity is how thick is that layer of weather, the greens and the reds of the storms. If you make it super opaque, then it will be super solid, very easy to see different features of the storms. And that's what I had it set at for what I just showed you. But if I drop it down, there's a little ad. It's how we get this paid for you. Now the storms and lightning are a little see-through, and that just helps you better see the communities under it. So Grand Ridge, under that storm right there, I can see through it a little bit easier. So there's that. Let's go back to the overlays. Now your data, which is the one I'm in right now, hold on. I'm going to bring that opacity back up. I like mine to be a little dark, very obvious. There we go, good example of that. All right, so in your data, high resolution radar, infrared satellites, visible satellites, temperatures, wind speeds, future radar 1 hour, and future radar 24 hours. I'm going to try and keep this tutorial video under 25 minutes. We're already at 15. So we're not going to go through all of these. These are just really cool things to check out. What I think is really cool is your future radar 1 hour. That's going to be more accurate than your future radar 24 hours. Because there's a lot more that can go wrong in the mathematics behind future radars when you go further out from time. But your future radar in the hour. So when you're asking the question of, is this going to hit me? How's the weather going to be for me in the next, as this system progresses? And there it is, in the next hour. Looks like this system is wanting to progress eastward. So the storms in Grand Ridge right now will be slightly moving to the east. And it will not be 100% accurate, but it will give you an idea of what the system is going to do. Then maybe you're like, you know what? I want to see what the weather's going to do in the next 24 hours. You press play, and there we go. We're running through. So about 24 hours, that's tonight. We clear out a little bit, and then we have those afternoon thunderstorms, and hopefully clear out by the time we have some fireworks tomorrow, July 4th, 2020, when this was taped. Let's get that. Oh, so here's another cool thing. Did this by accident, trying to get it back into focus. You can touch a part of a screen. You can also pause. That's important to note. You can pause. The little red line right here, we can just zoom it back and forth and choose what time we're interested in. So that is 2 p.m. on Saturday afternoon. So hopefully that's the case. We get early storms, not evening storms. And then you can just click the screen and it's going to pop up the information about the area you just clicked. So Youngstown, Florida, right under a little cell, according to this Futurecast 24 hours out. Is that going to be 100% the case? It may not be, but it is a good way to get an idea of what the weather is doing in the next 24 hours and help you better digest the information that we're going to be communicating on the air. So that's the basics on the alerts and what features you have in your radar. I want to touch on some cool things the app has in general. Beyond that, those are your life pertaining, protect your life and property type situations that you have that the app can help you do. The cool extra stuff on this app that I think is so cool. Let's say you missed the 6 p.m. hit the newscast. And you're like, man, I really wanted to catch the weather forecast, and I missed it. We download the entire weather hit, 3-minute weather hit, that's in the newscast that you're watching at 5, 6. We usually will pick the best one, whichever one we feel is most communicative of all the information that you need to know about for each shift that a meteorologist is on. So I've already downloaded. I liked my 5 p.m. hit, so I downloaded the entire 3 thing. We're not going to click play because it's really loud and it's really I couldn't figure out how to turn the sound off super fast for the purposes of this video last time. So back to our main screen. That was the video forecast. You can get the whole weather hit and breakdown of what you need to know about the weather. Each shift a meteorologist works, we load that in. You have a forecast center. The forecast center I think is really cool because it has your 7 days, wind speeds, temperatures. These are all your currents. These are cool things to look at as far as your currents. Boating and beach forecasts. Enhanced satellite, rainfall totals. Lots of stuff to look at that is just in there, like the graphics we use. We load data into those graphics. It loads into the app. You can look at it. Another cool thing is the weather cameras. Gotta love some weather cameras. Got your webcams. Checking out some beaches. You can always dip into here. Check out what the beach is looking like. If there's too much cloud coverage for a sunset, maybe you don't want to drive over. Maybe you want to watch the sunset from your home on this app. You can do that with the weather cameras. We've got beach flags in the app. You can check out your beach flags, what they're flying for Bay County. Taking just a second to load. It's asking me to allow visitbeaches.org. That's where we get the data ingested from. That way it's as accurate as possible. So they are flying yellow in Bay County, and this right here is a map that you can use. I'm not going to go too much into it. You can zoom right into that across the panhandle, and you can look at the different flags for different areas like Walton County, Franklin County, Gulf County, etc. Another cool thing about the app we recently added, of course, you got some local news. It's reminding you can download the news app. You can watch us live. It'll bring you to our streaming, which will be looping when we're not live. And the power outages. Gulf power outages. And then there's other power companies and their outages that you can always check in. If a storm rolls over and you're like, ooh, I'm out of power. Am I the only one? You can, let's say, we'll use Gulf Power for an example. Right now, there's one person showing a power outage on the Panhandle, and it looks like multiple people over near Fort Walton Beach area. So that's pretty cool. You can check into the power outages. All right, I hope I've covered everything. I hope it stayed in focus. I know this is kind of, there's probably a more refined way I could have done this tutorial. I just honestly couldn't think of it, and I've been wanting to do this for a long time. So hopefully it's helpful. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. If you understand this app and you understand this tutorial, then help a friend out. Help your elderly neighbor out. Get this set up in their phone if they want you to. Set up their notifications. Set it up to where they're getting this life-saving alerts, that they do have access to the radar. They can check on the weather around the area, their forecast, see the weather hits in their entirety, etc., etc. So just a very, very useful app for so many reasons. The only last thing I want to touch on before I wrap the video up is going into your phone settings. This will be similar to Android. You want to find like an app manager, and on the iPhone, it doesn't really have an app manager. My Android had app manager. You would click on the app. So this one says notifications. We're going to click on notifications. You find the StormTrack13 app. Usually it's alphabetical. So there it is. Get it into focus. StormTrack13 app. You click that. And you want to allow notifications. I have everything set so I don't miss anything important coming my way. Lock screen, notification center, banners. I've got it all clicked. Sounds on, badges on, show previews, notification grouping. Make sure all of that is set to your preferences. The Android, I believe, if I remember right, gives you more options. You can set it. You can set what the sound actually sounds like and whether it rings on Do Not Disturb and stuff like that. If it gives you an option, always have your alerts. And the Android will give you the option to have notifications in general on Do Not Disturb, or only critical weather can come through on Do Not Disturb. I highly suggest in any settings on your phone, if it says allow critical weather alerts through Do Not Disturb, through silent, through sleep, all of that, turn all of that on. So that way, when you're resting at night and your volumes are down, that at least rings through and wakes you up. So I haven't quite figured out how to get that to happen on the iPhone. I'm still researching that. So if you are curious like I am, how to make sure your noties can be quiet, but the warning can come through and wake you up, jog you to check the weather, turn on the TV, etc., etc. As soon as I find out, I'll be posting that, and just let me know you want to know too. I'll try and keep you in mind. All right, let me get this back up here. Kept it under 25 minutes. Like I said, not the shortest video, but I hope an informative video. I love our app. I think our app is awesome. There's so much. You can use the app to enhance our forecasts we give you. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Enhance what we're giving you. And complement, enhance, give yourself just an overall better understanding of the weather around you, help you remain weather aware, help you keep your neighbors, family, and friends weather aware. That app is how you do it, with a whole bunch of cool, fun other features to explore. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye. I will see you guys next time I do a video, and I hope you enjoyed this, found it helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, post it in the video comments of this video. I will answer every single question that comes through to the best of my ability. And share this with your friends, share this with your family, and help them get set up if they need help. Thank you. Have a good night.